Today I'm going to present my final project and I'll explain why I chose to do the project that I did. So basically, biggest problem that I had was actually getting any of the APIs to work. Looks like you had to have like a paid subscription to get one of the APIs to work. So unfortunately, I couldn't really change, the project one that I would have preferred to do. So instead, I opted to kind of change the project from last week and kind of change some of the things that I had previously done, and incorporate some of the other things that were asked of for this week. Um, so the first thing, of course, is going to be basically creating. I guess I should probably just show what the final product is. So basically creating the same page, but from of course different angles. And so very similar to the instructions that we had, for week number 16. I basically ended up doing three different ways to kind of link it together. I created a homepage, and then in the homepage, all I really did was create a login information where basically you just put in your email, and then a password, and then kind of log in. And of course, if you don't put anything in, it tells you you have to log in first. The other page was the house models. So basically, the point of this was to kind of design, your own house and try to kind of edit it as best you wanted to. Very similar to the previous project, except that this time around, basically, what I ended up doing was, again, you can add a new house. We'll say like house number 6. We'll just say house 0. Okay, and then when you add that house, it kind of adds it here at the bottom. And of course, the rooms can all be pretty much added the same way as last time with the delete button, except that this time I ended up adding a delete button to the house. So you can actually edit and delete a previously added house. You could delete this one as well. The other thing is I try to make it a little bit neater and cleaner as how the houses were presented. So whereas here you have all these buttons, you can actually go to the house models, and then here you can tell there's no buttons, and it's just kind of in a nice, much nicer, neater way to kind of look at the page. So that's kind of what I did with the third page. Going to the information itself, basically, you have the app.js, which basically I ended up importing, the React. I also used React 17 with a React Router. I think it was like 5.3, I believe. In addition, imported, the house list and the login form and login display. And then, basically, I ended up exporting it to the function app. And so basically what this is doing is it's kind of first creating the another list, and then it has basically the kind of the three links, right? So then you have the home, the house models, which is for the login, and then this is for that cleaner look of the houses, and then of course designing, which is where you add and delete for the houses. And then of course here's kind of the routing to the specific type of page. So even though it's the same page, it kind of shows you the different type of the page and the name of it. So like home design, house models, and then that was just the home page. Here you have kind of the function, those three, and so what each page is going to have. And so, for example, basically it was pretty simple. I just did a div with a one that says login, and of course the login form, which I can show later. Function of the house models, which basically just showed a display of, kind of that kind of neater look. And then of course the function, it's a home design. And so again, basically this is the house list, which kind of helps you design the house, which is very similar to what we did last week. So here basically we can go into first, I guess, the house list. um let's see, where is it? House list. So then, for the house list, again, very similar to last time, I imported the house API, and then the house, a new house form. And basically, what it's gonna export is gonna be the house list. And so then, of course, here you have, where it's creating kind of the array for the houses. And then, so basically, this is where you're kind of, fetching the information from the API. And then you're updating the houses, adding a new house, delete houses, and then, of course, you're going to render. And so then, basically, what's going to give you the output is going to be coming from like the new house form, which allows you to create a new house. And then of course here basically it allows you to do like the new house and then delete the house if you have to. So as well as update it with whatever rooms you want to do. Um, so then of course from here we can go to the house. Which basically you're gonna import this is the one where you're basically creating the room of the house itself. So then of course you're gonna export the particular house. You're gonna create the ID for that particular house, and then you're basically just kind of updating with the different rooms that you want to put into it. Um, and then here just kind of um uh, doing your return function. So then here you're gonna have the basically the delete button, which I didn't have last time, which creates that delete house. And then here of course there's going to be for the rooms themselves, and then again the delete room, add room, that kind of stuff. The other one is going to be the new room form, which honestly I really didn't change too much from the previous one. I just kind of was very similar to kind of setting the room itself in the area. So no real major change there. The ones that I really kind of made more of a change this time around was actually creating the login. And so then here, of course, you're gonna have your constants where you create the email, the password, set the password, and of course, user state is gonna be blank initially. And then this just kind of handles the submit or submit button. And of course, it says just please fill in the password in the email. And of course, this is what kind of helps you call in kind of the login, uh, the login function. And then once it's all submitted, then you just kind of set it to a blank state again. And then of course it's going to return kind of the email with the login as well as the password. And of course the submit button for the login. The other one, House API really didn't change too much on it, other than, of course, kind of having the house's endpoint, and then the house's API, and then kind of fetching, the current information, and then, of course, if there's going to be a new house, and then kind of synchronizing everything. Um, the only other thing that I did add was, of course, created the delete button, for this specific function, so that you can actually delete versus, adding, subtracting, and then changing as well. Um, let's see. And then finally, okay, so then this, basically it's just kind of helping me kind of restructure the actual final output of the house. So after you've added or subtracted a house, you can go back into that other page that I had. And then this just kind of makes it so that you can create a much kind of cleaner look of the actual house and with the actual rooms as well. And so then uh, you uh, you use this particular function with the output of house with rooms, and then of course the one that actually displays it is going to be this one right here, which is the final display. And so here you're going to import the house with rooms, and then of course it's going to come into this uh, kind of a constant array where it has the houses, which allows you to set the houses. It'll fetch the houses from uh, the API, and then of course if there's an issue, it'll tell you there's an issue, and then it'll just kind of return, you know, the actual display, which is the houses with the houses with the rooms, and of course it'll just export it as the display itself, or display itself. Sorry that I rushed through this. Usually it's only like, so it looks like a 5 minute. Hopefully it was under that time. Stop share.